Create a vacuum in your life. Right now, your life is very full with shit that you don't enjoy. The only way you're going to refill that container with something that you do enjoy is to get the shit out of the container. Create a vacuum, create space, create room for something else to come in. Right now, you're full to the brim with things that you don't love, like your job for 6 years and staring at your phone. So in order to create that vacuum, sometimes you got to do something drastic. Like I say, you got to be dangerous, my man. So quit your job. Quit your job not knowing what you're going to do long term. What that's going to do is going to put you into a heightened state of awareness where you're going to begin focusing on short term, like now. Because we have all this time and space and leisure to think about the future, we forget about the present. But when you are in a state of fear, when you need to get shit done because there's a fire under your ass, because you quit your job, and because you're living in your car, because you did something dangerous, you have no choice, physiologically and psychologically, to be very focused on the now, being very centered on the moment. And in that moment, you will take right action. I'd like to make a distinction between what people think is taking action and what is merely activity. Activity is the mere ruminating associated with a bored mind or a fearful mind or an anxious mind. Action, right action, comes from stillness, comes from nothing, comes from the void. It's a spark. There's no pre-thought to it. There's only spontaneity. There's instinct. And right now, when you have your butt all cushioned up, snuggling in bed with your girlfriend, staring at your phone, hating to go to work, there is no impetus for spontaneity. Your life has become a fucking bore. So you've got to throw yourself into an adventure of sorts. Take the call to adventure. A lot of people wait for the call to adventure, right? Like that's what it is. Call and the adventure is on. Don't wait, bro. Create your own adventure by doing something dangerous. Pick up and leave. Many of you who are watching this right now are going to say, Elliot, you're nuts. Why would you give that kind of advice? That's very irresponsible. Good. Be irresponsible. Because responsibility has only gotten you what you've gotten. Being responsible is more akin to doing what everyone else has told you you should do and staying within the confines of the fear boundaries that keep you bored and stuck and as a waste of breath. I said it. What are you contributing to the world? How are you expressing your unique light? How are you making your life a work of art? Many of us, so many of us, there's 7 billion of us on this planet, are here like it's a waiting room. You ever see people in a waiting room? They're not doing shit but wasting time. They're waiting for the train to come and take them somewhere. They're waiting for the call to adventure, the call to action. In life, you know what God does to you in the waiting room? What happens to you in the waiting room in life? Because life is dynamic, life is always going on. But if you sit and stay stale, you get kicked in your fucking head. You get a slap upside your head so that you can go on with your life in an authentic way. But you've got to hit rock bottom. So your girlfriend, what a blessing it would be if she left your ass. Or your job with UPS, I hope they fire you. All these things so that you could be spawned into fear, spawned into survival, spawned into that sympathetic stimulation that you're going to need so that your brain begins to spark a little bit more instead of lying there dormant and dumb with your cell phone. 6 years delivering packages and you're miserable. It's not that delivering packages is wrong, but when you're not aligned with who you're being, with what you're doing, with your daily routine, then you are living someone else's life. That's when it becomes waste. It's not about the doing, it's not about the thing, it's not about the job. It's about your alignment with it. So you've got one of two choices. Do something dangerous. Shake up your life. Wake up your life. And be something new. Or align yourself with UPS, carrying packages and ringing doorbells. Treat it like a practice in Zen meditation. Own it completely. Be completely one with it. Do it like you're performing art. You'll get the same result. It's that state of oneness, that state of authenticity, that state of indivisibility that you're wanting. So either shake up your life and jump out the crib, or stay there. There is a self-destructive side to every single one of us. You can't be here without a shadow. There is no light without shadow. There is no being without shadow. There is no sun without, or day without night. The self-destructive side of yourself is just as important and intricate to your wholeness as your seemingly more positive or resourceful side. We have our negative sides or our dark sides or our shadow sides as a result of shoving things in there that we'd rather not see. That's how the shadow is developed. And when we incarnate into this flesh on this planet and we do our best, because that is our purpose, to fit in, to get along, to be a part of civilization, there are parts of ourselves that our parents, our teachers, the world at large is just not ready for. So you get chastised, you get turned down, you get shut up, and you shove it in the shadow. All the things that are in your shadow don't go away. They manipulate you from the dark. Right now, you're being offered an opportunity to take a look at those parts of yourself that you've been taught to shove away and resist. You begin your question talking about making the right decisions, making poor decisions. That successful people don't make the right decisions. They make all kinds of bad decisions because successful people have shadows too. The difference between successful people and others is that successful people make their decisions right. And making your decision right begins with taking full responsibility, ownership, and loving your destructive side, your shadow side. All of those parts of yourself that we tend not to look at or acknowledge. Making the right decision isn't about fixing yourself or remedying the problem. It is about self-acceptance first. When you can fully accept your shadow and all the things in them, they no longer manipulate you from the dark side, from your ignorance, from your unconscious. Not only that, but when you begin to look at and love your destructive side, you can then begin to ask questions. Questions are much more resourceful than resistance. It's like when there's a fight between two people. Usually there's a misunderstanding. They resist and they fight one another and the whole thing's a bloody fucking mess. But if they would just pause for a moment and ask themselves and each other's questions like, what does this really mean? What's going on right now? What is this trying to show us? Or when I make this decision and I get this result, what is God trying to show me? What is my inner being trying to reveal to me? What part of myself have I denied and now is manipulating me from the underworld? When you accept, when you question, you remain open. And in that opening, all kinds of creativity becomes available to you. You then become an alchemist. You then have the capacity to transmutate those things that were festering and turn them into something that is beautiful. Your shadows, your destructive side, those things that you have shoved down in your deep, dark unconscious, oftentimes contain the greatest gifts you've been given. Take those very things that you've been resisting, look at them, question them, look at them from multiple different angles, and then integrate it into your wisdom, into your being.